all things Pelicans. You're now tuned into the Pelican Post-Game Report. Stand up, flocking nation. We up in this thing representing another special episode of PPR. It's supposed to be PPR in the morning, but Saturday, what I had to do? Oh, yeah, I forgot. Busy on Saturday, and we had to roll it on today. But shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the stream for another episode of PPR. I'm Big Q. Got my girl Lexxah in the building, my dog DC in the place to be. DC on the good mic, so we're going to get some good sound and some good comments tonight from DC coming all the way from the island. So big ups to you guys.
She was just at my house yesterday, y'all.
Please feel free to hit the like button. Please feel free.
We know the PPR is big, but it ain't big enough for you to fly a coach yet, so we know.
I took a boat, man. The same boat you did.
You took a boat?
Yeah, the boat to get over there where the same boat you used to get back and forth. Cut it out. I borrowed your boat. All right, so anyway, DC, stop interrupting. So I'm talking to the people. All right, so big ups to you guys. Appreciate you being in the building. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Much love to you guys. We up in this thing talking Pelicans. We won't hold you very long on this stream tonight. So big ups to you guys. You okay, DC? DC is in the place to be. Okay. All right, so anyway, we're going to talk about a few things tonight on the stream, man.
I'm all right, Stephanie.
All right, so we up in this thing, man. All right, so anyway, we got a few topics we're going to go over with today. Let's talk BI to start off the broadcast, right? Pelicans face frozen Brandon Ingram trade market. This one comes directly from Clutch Sports, fam. And they talk about the Ingram trade market isn't pretty after Lauri Markkanen's new deal made him untradeable. So, this basically breaks down Pelicans' quest to find a suitable trade partner for BI has hit another roadblock. The Jazz were once considered one of the most sensible potential destinations for the talented forward. Utah President Danny Ainge put a damp town, he says, on those small fires by inking Lauri Markkanen into a long-term contract extension. Now, Markkanen is ineligible to be traded this season, effectively taking him off the market with Ingram. So New Orleans is being left in the lurch here. Sources indicated the Pelicans expected a mild tepid market for Ingram in May. The Pelicans have fielded calls, but have not been frustrated by having fewer options in the market. Ingram and the front office have both expressed their desire to continue their relationship. The only sticking point is the future price tag. Those are just a few reasons why the Ingram market is now effectively frozen. The Jazz only have surplus to requirement spare parts to offer in return. So the Pelicans need more than that to even consider calling it quits on the current core. Just look at what Utah wants to use to acquire an all-star. And of course, we talk about some of the pieces. John Collins, an overpaid front court option. They talk about him being one of the guys getting $26.6 million and can leave after the season. The type of salary hit makes him a less attractive option for the Pelicans. It's the same reason other organizations have been reluctant to take on Ingram's expiring deal. The deal comes due eventually, replacing the high-cost rental option. It's all but impossible. Despite his athleticism and potential, Collins has struggled to consistently perform at a level that justifies his salary. His defensive lapses and inconsistencies on offense have made him a liability at times, further complicating any potential trade scenarios. He averaged 15 and 8.5 points on 53.2 shooting from the floor. Next option, Walker Kessler. Solid center, but not enough. Kessler has shown significant potential. It could be a valuable asset to any team. The Jazz promising young center is also on the market for a reason. Utah has been drumming up interest in Kessler for months, but at an unreasonable high price. The sticker shot of multiple first-round selections is too much in the Ingram deal. Kessler for Jordan Hawkins makes more sense for all parties. As well, the Kessler stout defense and reliable rebounder would make him great next to Zion. Yves, Carlo Mekovic could fill out the reserve rotation minutes. However, Ingram is exponentially better than Kessler. And Ingram's scoring ability, versatility, and overall impact on the game make him a far superior player. The Pelicans would need more than just Kessler and salary filler to justify trading away their starting forward. If Ingram continues to demand $50 million per year contract extension, the team must weigh their options carefully. However, Collins and Kessler might not even be able to play together. lessen their overall value to New Orleans. While Ingram's talent is undeniable, the financial implications of such a deal can hinder the team's flexibility in the future. If the best offer on the table involves a package centered around Kessler and Collins, the Pelicans might have to consider pulling the trigger despite the less than ideal return. Shout out to Chris Dotson on this article right here. Let's kind of swing it around to the flock. DC, this is one of the things that you want to talk about here on tonight about the BI situation. Feel free to start us off in the discussion, brother, and then of course Lex, please feel to chime in as well.
I think the BI situation is pretty much what we all intended, right? Like not what we wanted, but once you've seen him not get traded to Atlanta, we knew basically David Griffin was going to try to hold and hold and hold to extract as many resources and the best possible deal he can get, right? Which has put us in a situation right now where if we want to move on from BI, we got to take what we can get, right? Bearing the options we have at this point right now, those options may change at the trade deadline. I mean, I don't think you could do much better than Colin Saxton, John Collins, Kessler, however you want to swap that in there. I guess most people would probably want Kessler over John Collins, but we know our propensity to love small ball centers, which John Collins can do, and he can shoot the three ball. I think over the last half a month of the season, shooting it at 50% or something crazy like that. But based on the options that are out there, I actually would like this over DeAndre Ayton if that's the direction we're going, because that's the only other option we got. And you're hearing ramblings, a few rumors about the Raptors and possibly Pirtle. I ain't too crazy about that. The Raptors don't have anything to give us unless they're going to give us a bunch of picks. But Saxton, Kessler, I wonder how much is Saxton getting paid? Can we do the deal for Saxton and Kessler? Or we would probably have to add John Collins and still, because I don't think Saxton is making that much money. It probably have to be all three of them. Or you at least have to swap out Saxton for what's the six man over there? Damn, I forget the little guy. Jordan Clarkson. Which I like Saxton better than him. And he's younger. But I don't know, man. I mean, if this is all we can get, I wouldn't be terribly upset about that if we could figure out a way to kind of get at least a couple of second round picks or a first or something out of it. Need some draft capital too.
On Colin Saxton's money deal, DC got 2 years remaining on a 4-year deal. He's at 18.3 plus this year, 19.1 next year.
Okay, so yeah, it would be Saxton and John Collins, because he's making 18 and Saxton's making what?
18 point.
Oh, Saxton's making 18 and what? John Collins making like 24.
26, I want to say. Let me look it up right quick. I want to say it's 26 he's making. I mean, let me look that up. Let me make sure. I might not be. Hold on, give me a second. Let me look up that.
Oh yeah, we probably would have to take Clarkson then, because that'll put it at 38, almost 40 million, unless we want to. What we giving them, Jordan Hawkins? Who we sending back with 5 million to get both of them? But
Collins is 26.5 plus. So yeah, I was right. 26 and a half. So yeah, that's really yeah, he's making a good chunk of change. That 26, and he got what? The player option for the next year. He becomes unrestricted in 26, 27 years. So this year 26.5 plus, next year 26.5 plus with a player option. So
yeah,
there you go. So that's
I'm not excited about it now, but I think we could do worse.
well,
We could do worse. I mean, DeAndre Ayton is what 34 million for the next 2 years. Either way, I think that's the option they go. They're looking at somebody short term. That's why I can't see us getting Kessler Walker, even though I think that probably would work. But how they gonna pair Kessler Walker up with Eves Meese's if they really see a big future for him? That's like too similar of the players. And we still gonna need a stretch big unless Carlo Makovich can fill that role, but we don't know what he can do.
Y'all still have Trey Jemerson. They throw in there too. DC's another guy. I
And
don't know how
Trey,
he'll be.
Trey to me is just he's filler, man. Like he's
Right.
solid. He's somebody you can rely on. What breaking cleats of emergency guy. That's what Trey is to me.
Also,
I
Trey
don't see
Jemerson
him as
becomes
a
Cody
future,
Zeller.
but you like him to have him on the roster in case somebody get hurt.
So he becomes Cody Zeller. That was your last year call for the
Yeah,
break.
yeah.
Okay.
I see him as more Cody Zeller. I see a lot higher upside with Mekovic and Misi's first round draft pick, so he's definitely gonna get an opportunity at some point.
What you think, Lex?
Yeah.
Mm.
Are you excited,
Man.
Lex?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think Lex hate John Collins more than Willie, bro.
No, I mean I'm not too thrilled
Lex
about
doesn't
him.
hate Willie. Cut it out, DC. She doesn't hate.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Didn't we discuss this before?
That's
Yeah,
what he did. Did I tell
Why
you?
y'all want to bring him up?
See what DC just did? I told you he was going
You
to
know
do
what
that.
I'm saying? I said best behavior, guys. Come on, man.
all
That's
right,
DC.
all right.
See?
Look, don't
I
nobody
can't help
want
myself.
to hear me talk about that, man. Shoot, just being honest, but I don't know. All this is a head scratcher to me, y'all. It hurts my head. It really does. I mean, they just didn't plan accordingly. I think at this point, I really feel like, if they're gonna make a move, they need to make a move with Brandon now. I think just kind of alluding to what you all were saying, you're not going to get what you want for Brandon. You're not gonna get that at this point. So it's almost like you need to make a move to make a move. To make the move as far as moving him, but that move of moving him, whatever you get back, is actually to help you to make another move. And I think that's how this needs to be looked at. I just keep thinking about like how this is going to affect, because if we truly do believe in the growth and development of Trey Murphy, because right now it's being looked at like Herb Jones is going to be coming off the bench, and also as well as Trey Murphy too. So if you're gonna like just looking at that, it's like, when are we going to start focusing on the younger talent that you're trying to grow and that's in the foreseeable future? And right now, Trey's not going to get that type of, because Brandon is trying to get that contract. It's the same thing as last year. It's the same kind of mindset. That's why it's kind of weird, because we don't know what Brandon we're going to be getting. So the thing is that if he, depending on his mindset, and I think that's been a huge concern, like, are we prepared to, basically, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of the word that I'm trying to use. Are we trying to, goodness gracious, I lost it. Are we trying to accommodate, wherever his mentality is over the growth and development of Trey Murphy? You know what I'm saying? So, and not only that, I mean, even Herb takes a hit. I mean, because we don't even know what the starting lineup is going to look like. So I don't know. This whole thing is kind of crazy. I really don't care for John Collins. If you think back when he was with Atlanta, they were trying to get rid of him for a long time.
It really was, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, whatever's going on with that dude, why did it take a long time for Atlanta to get rid of him?
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that you want him to come here? Like, if he comes here, what makes you think that, okay, we want to trade John Collins? I feel like that's going to be a similar situation with Atlanta, because we don't know why it took so long for that. They were trying to. He was always on the trading block.
Yeah, he
Always on
was.
the trading block. So that's one of the reasons that gives me concern. Okay, what is it that, because we don't know everything, we don't see everything. What's going on behind closed doors that it took so long for him to be traded? And
Hmm.
I don't think well, I don't think I know the Pelicans don't want to be in that type of situation. And this Brandon Ingram, it really does scream out the same situation as JV. JV, he was up for extension, right? They couldn't come to terms on the extension. They went into the season. He stayed on the team, got to the trade deadline, still nothing. They did not trade him. Went on about the season. JV's gone, and you have nothing. That second, picks, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing to me. That ain't nothing. JV walked. So you look at the Ingram situation. You have yet to come up with an extension. Pelicans are sticking with their guns, and Brandon's sticking with his guns. He wants his money. But, there's nothing, there's nothing at the table right now. So basically, Brandon's still on the team, probably going to go into the season. Trade deadline comes. Are the Pelicans really going to trade him at the trade deadline? Because after the trade deadline, look at what happened with just JV just past season. All these events, it just seems like it's deja vu again. So it's a head scratcher with all these, possibilities. But at this point, it's really like with Brandon, you got to make a move in order to make a move. Whatever move you make with Brandon, there has to be. It's not that move that's going to do it. It's going to be the second move, and maybe even the third move.
Yeah, it's going to be. It has to be the trade deadline. You would think as you get close to it and see what the Pelicans do with it. Like I said, I think they just botched a lot of stuff going on. They said it was hot, then it dialed off. I think the Pelicans might have been asking for a little too much for Brandon Ingram, and teams just pivoted away from him. That's what it appears to me. But
I think the Pelicans was waiting for Jared Allen.
Yeah, they were. That's what
That's
they were
what I
doing.
think. I think they
Y'all
were
said
passing up because he was
Thursday.
number one on their list. Like, remember we were talking about guys like Wendell Carter Jr. Man, you cannot look at the Orlando Magic and tell me, even now, if you could figure out how to go about it, that a guy like Wendell Carter Jr. is not available. They signed like 3-4 centers. Like, what are they going to do with all these centers? They extended everybody except for him. So they're going to keep, what do they have, a 4 or 5 center rotation? Well, I guess it would be 3 centers or 4 if you don't consider Jonathan Isaac a center. But they play him spot minutes as a small ball center, even though he's a power forward. So it's like we couldn't get Wendell Carter Jr. But
the
Pels,
they
what
didn't
they
have
said on Jared Allen.
a good plan. They did not have a good plan. They had a plan A, and that's it. They didn't have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, because basically after plan A, all right, we winging it. Look at how with the center positions right now. Those weren't, man. Pelicans weren't thinking about Tice.
nah, that
You know what I'm
was
saying? You telling me he was playing B?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're telling me Trey Jemison, you didn't know he was going to be waived by the Grizzlies?
That was plan. That was plan F.
They just started winging it because they did not have it. You can see it. We can all see it. Yeah, Stacy just made a comment. Pelicans front office get a C minus at best this offseason and could have had an A plus.
Well, I mean,
and
I still can't give him a C minus though.
Michael says this. Other than Murray, we haven't done anything, to be honest.
And that was the next thing. Literally, because the thing is, everybody knows. Looking at this roster right now, it doesn't look right. It looks unfinished. It looks unfinished,
That's
and it
the
looks
energy
like
too, Lex.
you did not have a plan. You look. Last season, we had a starting center in JV. we didn't have a point guard. Guess what?
You just swapped it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Fix it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay.
At a point guard by committee, you have center at by committee.
I mean, it's like, dude.
Hey, which would you rather though? I would rather have center by committee than point
I
guard.
would rather have none of them. I would rather have a starting.
Well, if you got to pick one.
Well, what you got is what I would choose.
If you got to pick one, man.
When you look at other teams,
it's an improvement.
Right.
When you look at other teams, though, other teams are complete. They have completeness to them.
Yeah.
Like, and that's been a huge problem. You see how everything is delayed, everything is slow.
I can't say other teams
Hold
are complete. You can look at a lot of rosters, and everybody's gonna have a hole somewhere. Some people's hole is gonna be bigger than others, but like we have 8 guys that can be starters on other teams. I can't look at that and just be like, oh man, they completely just messed it all up. Like, well, no, it ain't. I'm saying 8. It's really 7. So 7 guys. But how many other teams that have 7 guys that can be starters on other teams?
Do we need to look at the other teams?
But that's not the.
Let's look at them. Let's look at them.
She was saying the completion of the. But go ahead, Lex. Finish your thought. That's what
I was just saying. Like, look, last season we had a center, no point guard, no starting point guard. Okay, now we have a starting point guard. We don't have a starting center. We're missing something and we've known this for years. How many years does it take for you to get 2 positions? 2. I mean, is that reasonable? How long? How many years? How many years has it been? It's definitely been since Willie Green's been here, right?
I mean,
man, we've been looking for a center since Anthony Davis. Wait.
Well, DeMarcus
so what?
AD was after. That's right.
Is that 5?
Huh?
Is that about
No,
5?
That's at least yeah. That's about 5 years.
Marcus Cousins, man.
So basically, since Zion was,
Well, I mean, AD was center after DeMarcus Cousins when they brought in Julius Randle. Remember? I guess I'm playing center. You remember that?
Yeah, I know that we covered that. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, But this is the thing about Willie. This is the best point guard, obviously, that he's had since he's been the head coach here. Being that he's a guard, even though he played off guard a lot, you expect the current point guard, a veteran who's very good, and the current coach to kind of get it all together and walk it forward. Now, obviously, this is a path right here. We'll just kind of look at it a little later because I'm obviously going to walk past this generally because I know Lex is listening. But we're going to go to the next one and talk about Trey Murphy. Because Lex, we're going to walk right past this shit because I know Lex is listening. And I know she loves Willie. We're going to leave that alone for right now.
You know what? Hey, can we do a poll?
Hold on, Lex.
We did a poll.
No, I got.
You got to create your own poll because
no. This is a good one. I want you to put in the poll.
What you got?
Who loves Willie Green? Okay, put a yes and a no. Okay, those 2 options. Who loves?
But what does that going to prove, though, Lex?
As a coach, okay.
We still got Willie.
I know, but you keep saying that. I'm like, okay. Anybody else want to chime in about their love for Willie Green as a coach?
What is it, love? What love got?
Huh?
What does love got to do with it? There's no love. It's a fact that Willie's the coach.
You trying to get me in my Tina Turner mode?
No,
he Tina Turner.
Got to do with. Yes, indeed, man. Tina was singing that thing, and that's that. You know what? But that's the whole thing, man. It's a fact. Willie's the guy. And listen, you're right. He has a lot of stuff you got to do. But I like the DeJounte Murray and Willie pairing because I really think that Murray could help him take his game to the next level. I really do think that. I think Murray can help him. If you got a good If you got a good point guard, and this guy's a good point guard, he's going to be respected.
Because he should be helping Murray take his game to the next level.
He probably could, Lex. He might know a little something now. I'm not going to, oh,
Q, that's crazy, brother.
He didn't know anything about the pick
I'm
and roll.
saying
We need a point. We need the. I thought it was supposed to be the other way around. I thought the coach was supposed to help the players.
DC, listen. The reality is, it's a give and it's a get and a give, brother. It's what it is. Willie's going to teach DeJounte what he wants him to do, and DeJounte's going to tell Willie, "Hey, Willie, maybe we can do that, but let's kind of round out these edges here. We can do this better," and that's how they'll do it. He'll be able to talk to him. But you can't say Willie's a hard ass. He's going to be like, "Nah, shut up. Do it this way." Nah, he's going to work. They're going to work together. That's the point. And we need those guys to work together for the team to be optimized here. You see? Now, I'm going to say this, and that's 1,000% facts. What I just said. That's not
90% DeJounte, or excuse me, 95%.
That's totally what I just said. Is not disputable. That's 1,000% facts. What I just said. 1,000%. You cannot dispute what I just said. That's 1,000% facts.
That's their working together.
Working together for the betterment.
99% DeJounte, 1%.
It won't be 99% DeJounte Murray. It won't be. It'll be closer to. Probably, I ain't gonna give no percentage. I'm not gonna even play into that game. I see what you tried to do right there.
See what's your percentage?
I see what you tried to do 100%. Right there. So you on the 1% too, DC? You're 1%.
See, I was being nice by giving Willie 1%.
What I just said it was undisputable. What I just said, that's no disputing what I'm saying. That's what it is. Because if it wasn't, DC would open his big mouth a long time ago to dispute it. And this,
I've disputed it so many times. I'd rather not and just move to the next topic because you're just stuck in delusion with this, and you're just gonna have to see it in real time.
What is this delusion about the coach and the player working together for the betterment of the team? What is delusion about that?
Dante's presser where he was talking about the pick and roll.
What's gonna happen is DeJounte gonna go in there and he gonna do some stuff, and Willie ain't gonna want no confrontation, so he's just gonna let it happen.
Ask Willie who he's gonna put
That's exactly how it's gonna play out. No, but you're right. That is exactly how it's going to play out.
So I can't look at Willie and be like, "Oh man, we're a better team because of Willie." No, we're a better team because Willie got out DeJounte way.
No, because he gonna check
and
him.
Allowed him to come in and be a pick and roll maestro that we've been missing for years. Like, why are we the only team in the NBA that can't optimize the pick and roll?
And the league is based off of the pick and roll.
It's the system that like we talk about.
That's all the NBA is pick and roll.
Unless we talk,
we don't do it. We don't do it effectively, efficiently, or enough.
Chicago years ago had Doug Collins. Doug Collins was a good coach. Doug Collins took them so far. They brought Phil Jackson in and improved the team. And what I'm saying is different.
Because I posed the question last week, Lex. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. So that's why you bring up Doug Collins.
But I'm saying, I know I'm using it in terms of schemes. I'm talking schemes here because the schemes were different between Collins and Phil Jackson, obviously. But Phil made it work for his team. He took the players and then, of course, they did improve and get better players. Right. And he taught them the system, and that system helped not only Michael Jordan win championships with Chicago, but Phil Jackson took that system to L.A. It worked with them. So it was a winning system where it was applied correctly and guys believe in the system.
Can you do me a favor, Q? Can you do me a favor?
Could you do me a favor and let me finish my thought first, bro?
I just want to say one thing and put an asterisk by it. Can you never, ever, ever, ever again mention any conversation with Willie Green and say Phil Jackson?
Brother. Hold on, brother. We talking scheme, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying scheme. I'm not saying
don't use Phil Jackson for an analogy or anything. Just don't
use any championship caliber coach.
Don't say his name.
Even when I'm
Greg Popovich, you don't say his name either. I'm talking about Willie. Okay,
I got a better name.
I'm talking
Pat
scheme.
Riley.
Who?
That is acceptable.
Pat Riley. Oh man, you know what? Never mind. I
No,
We have
I was
we have cleared Pat Riley cues. You can use Pat Riley. That is perfectly acceptable.
okay. Okay. All right. All right. Let's pivot here. Let's pivot and move on to the next talking point. We're talking about Brandon Ingram right here, right? Let's kind of move on to the player that a lot of people believe it is impacted by BI's tenure currently on the Pelicans. The fact that the Pels couldn't move BI, and a lot of people believe part of it is the Pelicans. A lot of people believe a part of it is BI's demands for a $50 million a year contract that has soured a lot of the deals that they're saying. So, and some people say it's a mixture of both. Now, let's talk about Trey Murphy, who is a participant who's just obviously watching what goes on. So, if the trade goes forward, BI gets traded at a centerpiece. Trey moves into the starting lineup in BI's current starting spot. What do you guys think about the whole situation around Trey Murphy, the contract, and what do you guys think, or how do you guys think that this will play forward? You guys also can chime in the chat. Let me know how y'all feel. Shout out to Stephanie because I was going to this right after this. Good segue. Lex, what you think? We'll get you going first.
I mean, Trey Murphy's got to get his chance. I mean, he's been stepping into the starting role, when someone's injured, much like if somebody, any player gets injured, you have guys like Jordan Hawkins getting minutes, but that's the only time that you're getting into that starting role or you're getting a bulk of your minutes. And at some point in time, especially by Trey Murphy being up for his contract extension, it's like, okay, so I think for him, when I'm, doing, I guess, the interview process or, the contract discussions with his agent and everything. Okay, so what's the future for me here? How do I fit in to, for the foreseeable future? What's my role going to be? And I think, because look, the longer this plays out, Trey Murphy, he's being empowered even more. And let me tell you something. There are teams that are looking at Trey. They see his talents. It's not just the Pelicans. You know what I'm saying? Like Trey, like his ceiling, and we see it. His ceiling is it's pretty high. I mean, he really hasn't tapped into everything that he can do. We know he can work on his mid range, his handles, but he's already got that 3-and-D type pedigree, and he's what? He's 6'10".
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, he doesn't mind shooting threes because that's where the game is. The game is about when they say, hey, you got a shot, you need a shot. They're not talking about a mid range. They're talking about that 3-point shot. That's what that means. When somebody's like, hey, when they want to know if you have a shot or not, it has nothing to do with the mid range. It has all to do with that 3-point line. Mm-hmm. That's what they're looking for. So, I mean, Trey's very valuable. And really is, like I said, as time goes along, he's being empowered more and more. And it's like, okay, well, if you're invested in wanting to keep Brandon, I can try going somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I just kind of feel like he's kind of being put on the back burner right now. And it's like, okay, is Trey Murphy a part of the future or is he not? And you kind of, because this isn't just about Brandon. It's not just about him. It's like, because a player wants to feel like, okay, am I in this picture? Where do I fit in? What's going on? And if not, if the opportunities are not there, shoot, Trey could want to leave. So I don't think he will, but I'm just saying, like, empowerment is a very, very big deal. So
Yeah, I think what you're saying is on point. And for me, it's more like a money thing. Like the longer this waits, like you said, the more he's being empowered to get a bigger contract. I think Trey plays out this year. I think he's going to do great this year with what we want to do, and then having DeJounte Murray. I think he's going to do great, man. Anybody can see this dude can step in and pretty much almost give you the same average that Bi averaged last year. Is he a better than player than Bi right now? No, he's not. He still has a lot of things to work on, but the way he gets his points fits the team better. And
yeah,
he can get points easier without having the ball. And other teams are looking at him and they look at a guy like Emmanuel Quigley who got 5 years, 162. That's what you're looking at. Somebody will throw a contract like that, maybe 180 at Trey Murphy. The longer we go without getting an extension done, it just makes it more difficult, man. If you truly want to hold on to Bi for real, like if they really believe in Bi and they're trying to hold on to him, well, I think that comes at the expense of losing Trey Murphy. I don't think you can, for the long haul, let's see the next 4 or 5 years, you can keep both of them. Maybe we can sign Bi after this year if they decide to keep him to a short-term extension, which I'm not saying what I'm looking forward to doing. I think you should just cut ties if y'all gonna move on. But Trey Murphy is obviously the replacement for Bi. So at what point do you think he's ready? And how long does he want to continue to wait? Even if they do give him a contract similar, would he be happy with, coming off the bench for Bi? Which I don't see any way how they can give him $100+ million and then bring him off the bench. So we're like, okay, well, what else can we do? Well, they can move CJ McCullough, but it still will have a lineup with DeJounte Murray. What you doing with Herb? So now that bumps Herb to never being a starter because you're going to put Trey there, Bi, Zion, and whoever's at center for the foreseeable future, whether it's Mises or we get somebody else, right? It's just the more you look at it, you're going to come to a crossroad with that situation. Trey and Herb love playing together. I hear a lot of stuff say they damn near like best friends now. He fits well with Zion. They play good off of each other. We saw the game where Bi was out with CJ and Trey out there with Zion against the Warriors. And then we saw what they did against Sacramento without Bi. So it's like, man, you've seen so many examples of how much faster the team was able to play with Trey as opposed to Bi. If it was a reality or world that they can make it work, because I'm not one of the people who hates Bi and thinks he's a horrible player and he could never work with this. I don't see that. But it does make a lot of sense if you're going to move on from Bi, or if we want to keep Trey Murphy, to go ahead and move on from Bi, because this dude has to be a starter at some point. He ain't getting no younger. He's 24, so how long he gonna want to keep coming off the bench? Does he envision himself as the new age Jamal Crawford? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either, DC. I agree. I agree with everything you said, brother. You hit it all on the head, and sometimes it gets a bit convoluted because David Griffin has this word salad master degree that he has, or actually got a doctorate in that shit, where he rolls out this stuff, then rolls it back, and sometimes we forget what he says and changes it. But the reality is, if you think about it, he said the window he's seen enough of the window. He's seen it, and that's when he said that they were looking into what we've seen enough, and we got to make some changes. But the biggest change of the offseason obviously was them to get off Bi, and it didn't work for whatever reason, whether he was his $50 million contract, $50 million a year demand, or the octopus wasn't motivated to move him, as he testified to that. We wasn't really motivated to move him, but you don't want to pay him. So this is one of the situations, Lex, you make a great point to start the broadcast off when you talked about the Valanciunas movement, how the Pelicans handled that. The future is Trey Murphy. It's not a question of Brandon Ingram versus Trey Murphy. This is not a question. This Bi has a time frame. The
Say,
times played
it's
out.
not a question to you, Q, but is it a question to them? Because obviously it was never a
Yes.
question that we needed a center since 2019, but the Pelicans didn't fit that way.
Well, hold on, BC. But that's what I'm saying. It's not just to me. A lot of people see that. That's not what I came up with. That's what they told you. They told you that if you drafted Trey Murphy, obviously he's developing. He's not gonna. You don't want to pay him whatever. And the reason why I brought up this article right here because these are a lot of players that's comparable to Trey Murphy, insofar as what the money could be for what the Pelicans could offer him contract wise. So this is not something that I'm sitting in the corner somewhere hyperventilating over and creating fantasies over. This is stuff that the Pelicans are saying. They talked about timelines and time frames. BI's time frame is up. He wants $50 million. Pelicans said, "I'm not going to pay you that." End of discussion. What could we do with that? So I mean, obviously, you got to pivot in a different direction. You can't let one player hold up the direction of the team, and besides, the team is supposed to be Zion centric. And Trey fits better in that. Go ahead, Lex. What you got, babe?
One thing, Brandon's going into year 10?
What is he at, DC? Since 2016.
Okay. I mean, dude's been in the league for a while, man. I mean, it's funny because he has stated that he needed a point guard in one of his exit interviews.
Yes.
And it's like, I mean, I can't really say that he has not had a point guard because obviously he had Lonzo. He had Lonzo when he was with the Lakers here for a little bit. Obviously, trade him. Then you have to think those were under different systems. But if the answer to unlock your game is you saying that you need a point guard and you're going to, basically, year 10 as far as, another season, it's like, dude, that's a long time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how long does it take? Like, I guess, I don't know. Like I said, it's not like he has not had, he hasn't completely like not had a point guard there. And not to mention, he did play with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, LeBron is known to be, handling the rock all the time, So yeah, point forward. So yeah, it really is time. It really is time. When you look at his timeline and it's like, in his exit interview from the past, just this past season, you're saying that yeah, I just need a point guard. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I'm not I'm not feeling that. And you've been in the league for how long? Like, if you haven't been unlocked by now, and you know what I'm saying, all because you need a point guard, I'm just like, yeah, we just need to move on. Like, it's really time to start investing in Trey Murphy. And somebody said, Trey Murphy is inconsistent. Well, if you think about it, Trey Murphy, his playing time has been inconsistent. His the way he's being used, like he was subbing in for Zion. Okay? He was subbing Zion out when he came in. And everybody knows that Zion and Trey Murphy have great synergy. Talk about it all the time. Great chemistry. So just the way that he was being used, and I don't know, because honestly, I kind of feel like there's a lot of things that play into if you're saying that he's inconsistent that contributed to the inconsistencies. So, I mean, if he's consistently like being positioned where he needs to be, especially playing along with Zion and not subbing in for Zion, which I think is just flat out crazy. We asked that question many a times on the stream during the season. why is that happening? That's a huge problem. Yeah, you're not going to be, as consistent as you possibly can be because you're not being positioned in the best way possible.
Indeed. All right. DC, want to chime in before we switch topics, bro?
I think a big part of that was the fact that we didn't have a point guard. We saw when Lonzo Ball was here, they were able to play pretty good together. Now, Stan Van Gundy did come up with the idea, I guess, to stagger them, and that worked well. Statistically, for wins and losses, I think we needed a better team. Eric Bledsoe definitely didn't help with that. Lonzo Ball and Drew Holiday worked a lot better together doing that. So Brandon Ingram actually had 2 point guards.
Yeah.
When he was most improved player.
That makes my point even stronger. Thank you, DC. Shoot, Drew was solid.
Yeah, Drew. People forget, man. Drew made the All-Star game in Philadelphia as a point guard, not a shooting guard. Drew is a very capable point guard, So we did have those 2 guys, man. And I think it's a similar situation now, being that you don't have Drew and Lonzo, but you have DeJounte Murray, and then you still have CJ McCollum. Those 2 guys give you 2 people, especially if they're all out there in a rotation together. And then you got a guy like Trey Murphy and Zion. It's impossible for a team to be able to double team Brandon Ingram. It may be impossible for them to even put their best defender on Brandon Ingram. So a guy given that type of, leeway, he can't do anything but flourish. I think that's one reason the Pels haven't traded him, because they're banking on, no. They're trying to just get us to throw Brandon Ingram away and let him play the season and see how good he'll play. He may yield better offers. I think we can do at any point during the season, at least with the Raptors got for Pascal Siakam. I think at any point during the season they could pull off a trade like that. But what if BI goes out here and he plays pretty well? The Pelicans are winning, and they're still kind of, floating him out there, possibly getting traded. Do teams change their tune? Or do the Pels change their tune and decide they just want to hold on to Brandon Ingram? Then that brings us back to this Trey Murphy situation. So
exactly,
no matter which way you look at it, we're in a quagmire, or whatever you want to call it. We're in a rock and a hard place, man. This should not be. We probably should have moved off of Brandon Ingram sooner if we were going to do that. Or at the very least, maybe have looked at trading Trey Murphy if you are set on keeping Brandon Ingram, because I don't see a reality, at least at this point, where we can keep both of these guys.
But then that comes into play. Are you trying to build around Zion? Because Trey actually fits better with Zion than Brandon does.
Oh,
as well as the team.
I'm taking Trey all day, and I like BI. But after what I saw last year, really for me, it was the Lakers game. Before the Lakers game, I was one of the people, you could never tell me about trading BI. We keep him, he won't be here. I've always stood firm on that. The KD trades, I don't regret saying none of that. But after what I saw, that Lakers game, when Zion was doing what he was doing and Brandon Ingram was on the bench sulking, upset, and how amazing that moment was and how that was looking, instead of being fired up about that, he was on the bench upset. I'm like, Brandon Ingram won't be the guy, man. He wants to be the number one player. We can't. You got to pick between him and Zion. You're either going to build around him or you're going to build around Zion. I've always heard people say that. I kind of saw some stuff I didn't want to believe. I'm like, they can co-captain, da-da-da-da. But I remember the very first real game we played, or maybe it was a preseason game. I can't remember. But I remember Lonzo Ball, he threw an alley. He threw an alley to Zion.
And B.I. when you got it.
B.I. jumped up there and took the alley. I said, oh, shit.
I remember that.
He jumped in front and he was clearly throwing it to Zion.
I know. I seen that.
I mean,
But
we look at that moment and deny it, but looking at what I saw in that Lakers game, it just reminded me of that. And one of my partners we were talking about, he said, "Man, we got to trade Bi." He said that shit 2019, and here
well,
we are.
you've seen it throughout the season, though. You've
Right.
seen the
Yeah,
different plays.
that wasn't a
Like when
sequel,
you
bro.
look
Yeah,
at some games,
we've
it's
seen that
like,
people paying
okay.
attention. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
Les.
sometimes it was like they were playing like between Bi and CJ, they were trying to play Zion keep away sometimes. I mean, it's like, you see, no, for real. You
Uh,
see those moments like, what's
I
going
think
on
I think
here?
CJ was poking at. I honestly believe that CJ was poking at Bi doing that because Bi does that. And the reason I believe that, think about all the lineups you saw with CJ and Zion and no Bi. They actually played really well together. So I think that was more of a tiff between CJ and Bi had going on with him jacking up shots and taking them from Brandon Ingram. I think that was possibly maybe his way of trying to get Brandon Ingram in line and get everybody more balanced. Or some of it could just be we didn't have a damn point guard. It was trying to do the best they can. You got two guys
No,
who kind of
no.
could be shooting guards.
I'm looking at I'm looking at the body language, the
Okay.
demeanor. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it would be obvious. Like you know what I'm saying? It would just be flat out obvious. Like there were times where they would be on fast breaks, right? Well, Zion was closest to the basket. Brandon, and I think actually Brandon and CJ, they actually did it. They both did it in that same game. I forget what game it is. I think it was one of those in season tournament games. But it was weird because just listen to Joel, because everybody knew,
No.
oh, Zion's down there he's in the dunking spot. They didn't even pass it. They just went 1-on-1. It was actually 2-on-1, but instead of like pushing the ball forward, like CJ kept the ball and went in for a layup.
mm-hmm.
Seriously, come on now. Everybody knows to pass the ball
Yeah,
forward.
I remember that play.
If you have a
But
teammate
wasn't
up
that
forward that's close to the basket, especially a 2-on-1, what are you doing going 1-on-1, dog? And it's 2-on-1. That is
Zion?
not.
Zion was playing bad during that period too, and he was extremely out of shape. You
I
think that could
mean,
have had anything to do with it?
so you're still not going to pass the
So
ball
you
up
can't dunk the
forward
ball.
to your teammate
Yeah, yeah,
who has the better. You know what I'm saying?
Better position.
yeah.
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 I mean that still doesn't. That's not high IQ basketball.
Mm-mm.
No,
That no. I'm sorry. If I have a teammate that's up forward and it's 2-on-1, I'm not gonna make a 2-on-1 a 1-on-1. That makes absolutely no sense. Anybody who knows basketball knows that does not make sense. That's insane. It really is. Why are you making? That's what you call playing the game. Like you're making the game hard.
Yeah, he playing in reverse.
You. Hey, and I tell this to my players, man. Like, look, the ball moves faster through the air than it does when you're dribbling. It
Yeah.
moves way faster. It can get across that court way faster than if you're dribbling. So with that mindset, hey, 2-on-1 is better than a 1-on-1 situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have someone to pass it to. The passing, there's nothing, no person can run faster than the pass.
That's right.
Get in the foot race, Usain Bolt. You know what I'm saying? Pass the ball. He can't. He can't do it. He cannot do it. So that you had and that was just one situation. But there were other games where it's like, okay, what's going on here? What y'all doing? What type of basketball are we doing, man? Are we playing winning basketball? Are we trying to make the game easy? We don't want to make the game hard. We want to make it easy.
I remember
Right.
a lot of games was Zion to have it going, and then nobody
Yeah,
looked for him. I'm like, what the?
exactly.
Why are they not giving him the ball?
They go right
Because
away from them.
It wasn't.
hey,
It wasn't just Brandon Ingram at times or C.J. McCollum. It'd be like the whole team sometimes. Like, I'm like,
because you know why?
the hell
Because
is
that's
going
the
on?
because hey, the who did everybody say the leaders on the team were?
Bi and C.J.
Exactly. Attitude reflects leadership.
This is true. And if the attitude is CJ jacking up shots and most of the players ain't crossed the half court line, what does that mean? Willie got
If
to
I
get
want to shoot the ball, I gotta jack up shots too.
it right. If I ain't gonna get the touch, I got to go ahead and put it up while I have the chance. Yeah. But yeah, that's a part. But that's what we were using C.J. McCollum as a point guard. We know that he is obviously not that. So that was a bit of a detriment. That's why he's a better off ball guard than anybody, and that's what they feel DeJounte Murray will bring. So a lot of pressure on DeJounte to kind of even out the mentalities and personalities of the players that we currently have. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Pelicans do look a bit different with DeJounte, that they're going to definitely look that because he'll be able to situate and be able to do the things that need to be done, especially when we get time to the clutch moments of the game, those clutch moments in the back of the game where we had that miserable, 0-23 or 24, whatever the hell it was, man. So we have some IQ there to kind of handle that. All right, let's transition, man, to this next article. We have Pelicans announced the training camp information for some of the family members who might not know. Trading for a bag of pork rinds at this point. All right, shout out to you, T. All right, Pelicans announced Tuesday that the team will hold training camp at Belmont University in Nashville from Tuesday, October the 1st to October the 6th, which is a Sunday. They're going to be holding camp in Nashville, Tennessee at Belmont University. So, and this is a part of the renovation issue. This is what the Octopus said. We're extremely appreciative of Athletic Director Scott Corley, Head Coach Casey Alexander, and Belmont Bruins basketball program for opening their facilities to our team. And we're excited to hold a competitive week of training camp practices and team activities in Nashville. During this time, the Pelicans training facility, Oshner Sports Performance Center, will be completing the final phase of renovations. We're equally excited about the significant upgrades being made to our practice facility, which is yet another example of Mrs. Benson's commitment to providing our players and staff with the most state-of-the-art amenities required to be successful, says the Octopus. These improvements will enhance the overall experience in every facet of our basketball operation. We look forward to returning to our new and improved training facility in mid-October. Pelicans will hold Media Day Monday, September the 30th at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans prior to the traveling in Nashville. Training camp practice will be held at the Crockett Center for Athletic Excellence on the campus of Belmont University from October 1 through 6. All training camp practices are closed to the general public. Additional information regarding practice times and media availabilities will be distributed at a later date. Following the training camp, the team will return to New Orleans for its first preseason game against the Orlando Magic at the SKC on October the 7th. Tip-off time is 12:30 Central Time. So there you go. First game, as we know, open up against those pesky Orlando Magic, man. The very pesky Orlando Magic. Okay, let's kind of move into our next topic of discussion, fam. Let's play Grade the Trade. Well, actually, I got one more. Let me run through this one right quick, fam. This is about the media deal. The Pelicans get a new TV home next season. And then, listen, I had the Bally Sports app. I think DC used it too, but I had the Bally Sports app. It was a piece. I ain't gonna say it's a piece.
Yeah, I used it, bro. I used it.
It was disappointing, man, for that app. It would freeze on you. Some games you had to keep reloading the app. You had to reset the app at halftime. It was an unmitigated, uncomfortable disaster. And the Pelicans heard what the family members were saying about it. And when they started doing that beta testing with Gray Television, I knew it was a matter of time. But anyway, the Pelicans' new TV partner give them a reach to over 3 million viewers to watch games next season. So this is something that we kind of covered on the Flash Report. We're kind of going over now. Pelicans ditching Bally Sports to broadcast the regular season games next season. The team has reportedly struck a multi-year deal with Gray Television to air approximately 70 of the 82 regular season games. Now, Christian Clark was the one that dropped the scoop. The team has yet to make an official announcement about the deal. Bally Sports' parent company, Diamond Sports, filed for bankruptcy early this year, and it was inevitable the Pelicans would find a new partner to broadcast their games. Diamond began to inform teams that would drop them to stay financially afloat. Last season, the Pelicans experimented with Gray Television by allowing them to broadcast 7 regular season games. The Nielsen rating showed viewership was up 260% compared to views seen on Bally Sports. Great Television is over 260%. It wasn't even a thought. Great Television is one of the nation's largest local TV owners. With the new deal, Pelicans basketball will now be seen across Gulf Coast, from New Orleans to Baton Rouge, Biloxi, and even stretching into Alabama. New Orleans is making an earnest effort to curate more family members and supporters and stretch their reach across the Gulf. Earlier this year, the Pelicans and Saints agreed to a new multi-year agreement with WWL Radio. That's why a lot of the coverage with Mike Hosby kiss ass, because they got an agreement right there, and that buys you a lot of de-essing from some of their commentators. David Griffin sees this as an opportunity to grow the Pelicans family base as we continue to grow the Pelicans brand throughout the region. This partnership with WWL will amplify their efforts to deliver high quality and engaging basketball conversations to a wider audience. New Orleans isn't the first team recently to allow their games to be seen free by family members. Phoenix recently switched to free over-the-air model to allow their family members to watch the Suns games. This new TV and radio deals will allow Pelicans and family and supporters over a much broader area to watch the team for free. So this will definitely help. Very smart move right here. If you go back into your memory, remember when the Pelicans, when Tom Benson first bought this team, the contract that they had, the television contract, was a piece of trash. The last dude that had the team, Shin, who came over from Charlotte, had this terrible garbage ass agreement in place where people couldn't watch the games. They had to split up, all kind of craziness. And he came in and made it a lot easier. And this deal that's under Gale is the best of them all. So the family members will be able to see the games on television. None of the craziness with the app involved. It's going to be a lot easier there. And before we go to grade the trade, y'all, Lex, DC, y'all want to chime on the last 2 items?
Yes, I would. Yeah, I don't care about that. The practice facility. Y'all need to get y'all's butts in the arena that you play in. Okay, they need to start practicing in there, because if you're starting off how you ended the season, losing all them home games, okay, we had problems, right?
Right.
Am I the only one who saw that? Okay.
No, we got some problems. Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
Yeah, I don't. Right now, it's like if you're talking about winning at home, you need to get off to a great start with winning games at home. You know what I'm saying? Let's hey, for real, let's address that early. But right now, I mean, that's great, but at the same time, I'm looking at how things ended, and y'all couldn't win at home. Y'all can win at home. Like, practice in the arena where you're going to be playing your games at, so you can get off at a good start, winning games at home. Because, I mean, I like to think that the fans deserve to witness winning games on their home court. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can travel cross country. You know what I'm saying? Like DC.
That's right. Everybody don't have a magic yacht.
Hold up! I'm not driving at the time or boating. I'm sitting still tonight. What is y'all talking about?
He wasn't in. Look, he was sleeping. I caught you.
I am sitting still.
Wake up.
What you say, mommy? But look, I think it's an awesome thing. And Lex, I'm not gonna let you undermine with the incredible work that our physical therapist has been doing at this practice facility.
Amen.
And what these upgrades are going to do for the team.
That's
they need
great.
to get their massages and all that. They have some practices over there. But I will say this in agreement with you.
Hey,
the practice before the game, practice before the game should always be in the Smoothie King arena. It's so much so that makes so much sense I always thought that's what they were doing. Because it
Well, the
just
thing
makes
is,
too
they
much
changed it up
sense.
late. That's what's really sad. They changed it up late, and then look, they went
Man,
back to their normal ways. Be like, all right, we got to win after we had practice. No, dog, keep practicing. Keep practicing.
why
You
wouldn't
know,
you practice in the arena that you're gonna play the game in? I just can't. At least one of the practices should be mandatory. You know that's in there. Like the before game, like, I don't care about the shoot around and all that. Nah, you need an actual practice
yeah,
where you're going through everything. Because a lot of times, from what I hear, the guys might practice like twice a day. You can have one over at the facility. You can have another one in the arena. Like what better way to simulate a live game than in the goddamn arena you gonna play it? Like it's so common sense. It just makes too much sense. Like you don't see the Saints doing that shit. I'm sure they have some practices in the goddamn Superdome. Why they can't catch on? And they play less games.
hey, especially if you have a streak of losing at home. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like that. It's like, dude, okay, let's do something different. Something's going on here, and they how many games did they go losing at home but until they decide to change it up and practice in the arena.
I don't even remember it. Too many.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
like this is broken. Okay? If it's broke, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. But this is broke.
Yeah.
It needs to fix. You have to change it. You can't keep doing the same things and expecting a different result. Well, all the people with common sense, please stand up.
Man, that's crazy. But you know the real kicker though? The practice facility and the Smoothie King Arena is probably about 15 miles away from each other, man. Like it's not even close to the arena. That's the funny part. Like everybody out here in the city who knows what a practice arena is off of Airline, and then you got way downtown. It's a whole different part of the city. It's technically the practice facility ain't even in New Orleans. It's in Metairie. And then
Yeah,
you got
that's right.
the arena that's in it's a different zip code. It's in a whole other zip code. And you don't think that practicing there would help break a streak for you to not win at home? I guess maybe because the year prior they had been doing it that way and they didn't attribute that to being the reason. But I'm like, golly, though, man, if you're not playing good, how can you not at least think that would have something to do with it and be one of the first solutions that you try? I never understand that. And that was the difference in between us probably winning 49 games versus us winning maybe 53. I think you could have got a few more wins just off of doing that. But guess we'll never know. And we probably wouldn't have been a playing team. So would Zion have really got hurt? Guess we'll never know, though.
Hey, can you put up Rob McCoy's comment?
What's up, Rob? We talking about Gail putting new shower heads and better toilet paper, calling it a renovation.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we got the top stuff now.
What type of toilet paper is it? Golden Charmin.
Yeah, baby, we got the good stuff now.
Royalty
Oh my
Charmin.
goodness,
Extra soft.
Charmin, they got the good stuff. The Pelicans don't play no games. The Pelicans keep it they keep it all the way
That's
funky.
why ain't nobody taking the Pelicans organization seriously.
I tell you, man. Boy, I tell you. I'm trying to put this question together in the chat for the family members. See, it was a little too
Who
long in the
loves
tooth.
Willie?
He's
Yeah.
not trying too hard about that Willie question, just letting y'all know.
Oh, that was long ago. The people was answering that already. So there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, people. Listen, that question's a moot point because we still got Willie. See?
No. Okay.
Oh
Look.
no, it's not. It's not a valid question.
Listen. Who likes the Pelicans front office? You know what I'm saying?
Hell, I'll vote on that one.
Okay. And then look, the front office is still there. They ain't going nowhere. Look, all of it's a mute point, but we still want to know what the fans think, right? Look,
What the people think? I didn't answer that.
who likes where the team is right now? Who likes the roster? Is this a living roster, or is this just a roster?
DC, chime in, bro. You got the masters in rosters, bro. What you think about that?
You created it. You created the roster. The living roster, that was your creation. So, I mean, rightfully so, you definitely have to put some input on it, regardless of what I say.
Yeah, but
I think the roster, I think it's an organic roster. This roster is home built.
You mean
with a whole place?
You mean you have human beings?
We got 100% natural human beings all over the roster. You know.
So it's not a living roster.
It is an organic, sustainable roster of whole human beings.
But I'm just saying, we like all these questions. They're at a mute point. That's my point, Big Q.
I'm just saying, just saying, Lex,
the roster is the roster, right?
The roster's the roster.
You know, and the Pelicans front office is the Pelicans front office.
That's what we got right now. I know what you would do if you was in control. You would fire Willie.
And Lucius, whatever his name is. Ooh,
well, that depends on how high you are in the organization because he's the team president. So only one person outranks Dennis Lauscher, and that's Gabe Vincent. See, you got to be way up there.
That sounds too close to Lucius.
Lucius line? Who said Lucius line? It's the Empire.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's what comes between me and my family.
DC showing his mafia roots there.
You've got to make it a little bit more smoother. You know what I'm saying?
You sound like a Serbian or something.
What mob you can coming from, Lex? What's going on with you? What mob you talking about?
Look. Man, that's the mafia over there in Serbia. Q Lex don't play, boy.
I know. I'm about to. I was like,
go Pels,
oh my goodness, we got the Serb mob in that mother. I said, Lex, my goodness.
I tried.
All right, so listen, fam, here we go. I got on the screen for you guys. This is our grade the trade that's on the screen. Yeah. Now, this is one right here from Atlanta Sports Illustrated. Before y'all hit the chat up, let me tell y'all about it. It's a blockbuster 3-team trade proposal that sends Ingram to the Raptors. ATL adds NBA champion to backcourt. Pels get Pirtle, that's his name. All right, so this is the trade. The Hawks get Bruce Brown. Right, let me put it on screen so y'all can see it, then vote on it. All right, Hawks get Bruce Brown. Pels get Jacob Pirtle, Chris Boucher, a 2027 first-round pick, top 10 protected, of course, via Toronto. Raptors get B.I., DeAndre Hunter, and Cody Zeller. Grade the trade in the chat. Grade the trade. And the options for you have for grade the trade is pull the trigger, and the second option is hell no, sit your country ass down, man.
All right, Marcus.
That's right. 1,000. There you go, DC. Keeps it 1,000.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's a 1,000% no for me.
DC keeps it 1,000. Lexxah keeps it 1,000.
I wouldn't do that trade, although I think that trade makes us better. It'll make us a better team presently, but for the future, I don't think so. I don't think the Raptors are going to be good. And the fact that they put a top 10 protection on that pick, it's like, I don't know about that. Plus, I want at least two first for
Bruce
that,
Brown.
because you ain't really getting that. Bruce Brown ain't good, man. Bruce Brown ain't all that, man. Bruce Brown is like a watered down version of Josh Hart. He might play maybe a little better defense, maybe just a smidge, and that's it. That's Bruce Brown
with Denver, and he was a crucial piece to that team. Him and Caldwell Pope.
Caldwell Pope was a bigger piece than him, in my opinion. And I think they don't win. They don't win. They don't win without Bruce Brown, but it's really not him, but a guy like Bruce Brown. They just needed a guy like that. You needed a hustle guy, a guy who was willing to, give all his energy and effort on the defensive end. They just needed like that hustle man type archetype. They could have still won with a bunch of other guys playing that role, in my opinion. He did it well, so I can't take that away from him, and he's a champion. And Bruce Brown ain't no bad player, but, I mean, you probably trading B.I. for Bruce Brown, Boucher, who Willie would never play. Boucher, Willie would never play him. He don't play a lick of defense.
Oh, hold on, DC. You don't get Bruce Brown. The Hawks do.
Yeah, it says Hawks.
So what are the Hawks giving up? Where's this pick coming from? The Hawks?
The pick is coming from the Raptors.
So why are the Hawks getting Bruce Brown? What are they giving up?
Hawks get Bruce Brown.
DeAndre Hunter and Cody Zeller.
Oh, they sending DeAndre Hunter and Cody Zeller. Why the hell would the Raptors agree to that?
Well, listen, y'all.
DeAndre Hunter getting $22 million a year.
Hey, y'all don't put your vote in.
We get Turtle, Boucher, and 2027 first round pick, top 10 protected. Take the protection off the pick and give us 2 seconds or one more first, and I'll say yeah. Other than that, I get an F.
Okay, let me say it again. The Hawks get Bruce Brown. Pelicans get Jacob Poeltl, Chris Boucher, Jakob Poeltl. What I said, Jacob. Jakob is Jacob. Yeah,
it looks like Jacob if you're American.
See, Jacob. I know. That answers your question right there, Brother Rob. Because Lex is definitely using a European accent when she coaches her players. Okay, there you go. All right. So you got Jakob Poeltl.
Talking about mom.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead, DC. Run it.
I do like speaking in the English accent. I do. It's real. I be speaking different languages too.
See. Well, you got different players, so you got to be able to speak the language. That's what the coach is a unifier of talent. So you got to be able to reach them with languages. Now, let me ask you this, Lex. When you kind of talking about basketball and you got somebody that's from the Caribbean, let's use DC for example. Let's say DC is on your team. Do you use pineapple analogies or something like that to kind of
pineapples? Really? You are a Jamaican chef yourself, Q. I can pull up several YouTube videos.
DC,
with guys that look like you cooking pineapples. They cooking with pineapples and mangoes and coconuts, all type of cool stuff.
You a damn lie.
You make curry chicken. I don't even know how to make curry chicken.
You said you made curry chicken. You a liar.
No, I never said that. You make curry chicken. That's why I was eating curry chicken by your house, because I don't know how to make it. I gotta go buy curry chicken from somewhere.
Okay, thank you for that, DC. Thank you for that information.
You actually know how to make curry chicken, man.
Okay, thank you for that, DC. I appreciate it. You got
the Big Mama Jamaican recipe on curry chicken, but I don't think they told you to put that much sugar in it. You need to take some sugar out your recipe.
It was honey.
It's pretty good, man.
It was honey. It wasn't sugar, and you are
that old. That was fake honey.
And you fell asleep because you're old man.
Because my insulin was spiked. I was going into a diabetic coma. I don't even have diabetes. I felt like I did after I ate that damn curry.
All right, DC. Can I ask Lex the question? This is a serious question about coaching, DC. Okay.
Now, Lex, this is definitely not a serious question, Lex. But go on.
All right, I forgot the question. So there you go, DC. Thanks for interrupting.
Oh, wow. So that was the whole go, DC.
Yeah, it messed up my whole train of thought.
The Caribbean and DC was on the team, and you were talking about what analogy would I use?
Yeah, we started talking about pineapples and mango salmon and stuff.
I was saying that as an example.
Pineapple flavored curry salmon and
I can't
Who said
hear. DC. I can't hear. Okay. Thank
that?
you.
All right. So anyway, man, let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it rolling, man. Okay, for the family members, man, that's chiming in, the trade on the screen is for the chat. So chime in and vote on the chat right now. Do you pull the trigger on this trade, or do you say, hell no, sit your country ass down, man? Which one will you go with? Will you pull the trigger or say hell no to it? Put it
Does
in
it
the
have to
poll.
be Chris Boucher?
Now listen,
Who else do they have on their team
They don't have nobody.
other
no,
than
they don't, Lex.
well,
They have Scotty Barnes, the best American player ever. How do you disrespect Scotty Barnes?
we know he's
He's
untouchable,
all-star.
but
Nope.
you know
This is big crap.
This is big crap.
I expect it, even though I respect him.
Don't say it like that, DC. Do not say it like that.
This is big crap. This is
How
big
else
crap.
do you want me to say it? Like, you see, referees, we should not
Big
come to the game if we can't play the game. This is big crap. They should just give them victory.
It was like they had to talk to him like, man, we don't really kind of handle it like that.
Chris,
They pulled that boy to the side and gave him a talk in the back room after
You
that.
better believe they did. You better believe. All right, so this is the background on it. Why the Hawks would do this deal. Bruce Brown is not quite the same player he was during his Nuggets tenure, but he still fills a valuable role on the roster of the Hawks. 6'4" with a 6'9" wingspan. He did not grade out as particularly good defender last year. However, he's still a good cutter who makes quick decisions with the ball and can finish at the rim. If he has a bounce back year, Atlanta can either hold on to him, or extend him or flip him at a trade deadline for a first round pick. The Hawks also open up long-term cap space by dealing DeAndre Hunter to Toronto, which will allow them to be more active in free agency during the summer of 2025. So that's why the Hawks would do it. Now, why would the Pelicans do this? The Pelicans would do this deal with Jakob Poeltl. Is one of the most solid starting center options in the NBA. He's an excellent screen setter, finished with a career-high true shooting percentage of 65.3%, and protects the rim well. Well, I would not say he's an elite at anything, but he can be a good starting center on the team with defensive pieces around him. Herb Jones, Trey Murphy III, and DeJounte Murray. Just a solid defensive infrastructure to support him, while Zion has grown into a solid defender in his own right. Chris Boucher adds even more depth at the center and power forward position to mitigate injuries to either Zion or Poeltl, who missed 32 games last season. Boucher is a versatile defender who can block shots, occasionally hit threes, and more spaced out lineups with Zion. Having him and Poeltl give them the flexibility to reduce the role of rookie Yves Missi in pursuit of a playoff berth. And of course, they said why the Pelicans would not do this deal. They give you that too. Aside from injury questions, Poeltl is also not a dynamic option at the center. There is a chance that Poeltl gives them exactly what they got from Valanciunas, which would be a fairly middling result. He reduces the spacing of the starting lineup and does not stand out as a paint scorer. He's owed $19.5 million for the next 3 seasons, so the Pelicans are essentially keeping him as their starting center for at least 2 seasons. So there you go. And then, of course, while the Raptors...
They don't even mention one of his best attributes without saying rebounding.
Yeah, I know.
And that's probably the weakest
part, because Poeltl can rebound.
He's just as good as JV at rebounding.
Yeah. And if we're getting not only that, Jakob Poeltl, and I'm surprised they didn't mention this, but Jakob Poeltl played with DeJounte Murray at the Spurs.
That's right.
They're familiar with each other.
That's right.
You to my next point, Lex.
Yeah, I mean, that was very
and what year was that? That was the year that when Murray was an all-star, right? That was his starting point.
Yeah, I do believe so. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's
so he made Poeltl look good enough to get a $20 million a year contract, right? And Poeltl helped him propel himself to the all-star. So that's why I thought they would get better.
Yeah. So
DeJounte pulling that trade off because everything would fit better. Trey would get the start. But I just the long term, man, I don't think it makes us a better team at all.
I mean, well, like like he said, well, like a lot of people have said, we have a point guard, but the point guard is familiar with Jakob Poeltl.
They definitely would do that trade.
No, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, that's the
No, the
upside.
504 Doc put
That's the upside of the trade, though,
okay.
because DeJounte is familiar with Jakob Poeltl, and DeJounte's a point guard. You know what I'm saying? So, if we're getting the Spurs DeJounte and the Jakob or the Spurs Jakob Poeltl, hey man, that ain't too bad. You know what I'm saying? And you're adding, playing with a guy like Zion, you still got floor spacers. Uh, yeah, with especially if Herb Jones is shooting from the corner like he was at like what 44%, and then you got Trey Murphy. Look, and I know it's wishful thinking, but shoot, what's his name coming off the bench? if that does happen, is that me or is that you, DC?
That's Big Q on his boat, allegedly heading back from my house.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I think, hey, they did play together. So now that I'm looking at it from that point, this may not be a bad trade.
No, it's not. But 504 Doc sure brought up an interesting point. He
What was
said,
that?
what was that comment back up there? He said, if anyone thinks Griff
Griff
does
does that
that
trade.
trade,
You don't know him.
then you don't know Griff.
I mean,
I
let's
100% agree. They would never do that. It's too little to get back for BI. I think they would rather risk letting him walk in free agency instead of doing that.
That makes absolutely no sense. And see,
It
again,
doesn't.
that's what I was saying earlier with JV, because that's basically what happened with JV. That second draft pick, that don't mean nothing to me. Man, JV walked. He walked.
We're not gonna see that second draft pick, Lex. JV
Yeah,
was JV was salary filler for us to be able to complete the deal for DeJounte Murray. They facilitated that and added Zella to help have enough salary to be able to pull the deal off without giving them Brandon Ingram. And I could respect that. But yeah, we're never seeing that
you
second round
still have
pick.
a
The
problem
second
because
round
you
pick
don't
is like 50 to 68 or something protected. Like man, we're not gonna see that pick, man. They gotta damn near be a perennial playoff team for us to see that pick.
No, it's really something, looking at, with JV, because the thing is, we really didn't have a backup for JV, as we can all see. But if we would have focused on trading Brandon rather than JV, it wouldn't have hurt because we had a backup. We had someone coming behind Brandon, which is Trey Murphy. And you're talking about you still would have been able to get DeJounte Murray. You still would have been able to get him.
Well,
And
I think we said it on the show. I don't remember if it was you or Big Q, but I know I didn't say it. But y'all was saying when we traded DeJounte Murray, now is the time to trade Brandon Ingram. Once we realized he wasn't in the DeJounte Murray trade, you had to pull the trigger on trading him now.
Yeah.
Because the options are only going to dwindle.
Yeah.
After DeJounte Murray moves off the board, till you get your next option. They're going to continue to keep dwindling. And looking back at it, I mean, what could we have potentially gotten for Brandon Ingram that we can't get now? Sacramento Kings. We want to go back and look at that deal.
Man, it took them a week.
Would that have been better?
As soon as DeRozan came up, man, they switched gears and got that deal done in less than a day.
I mean, if they spent half the money they would have had to spend to re-sign Brandon Ingram. It was a no-brainer.
Exactly. And they got DeRozan for cheaper at $75 million. I don't know for how many years, but
I think he like $25 million a year. It's like 3 years or something. So 25 versus 50. It's a no-brainer. But if we would have got in front of the A-ball and did that before that became an option, who knows? We could have pulled the Sacramento trade off, been able to send them a Herder or a Shooter or something, and take one of them picks, maybe got Wendell Carter Jr. I mean, what's that Sacramento trade that we saw out there? A real trade, and the Pelicans turned it down.
Yeah, it was like, and that's the thing, man. Like, if you look at everything, like, look, they got the DeJounte Murray deal done. But one thing, it wasn't just about getting Murray. It was okay, you got him, now you got to finish it.
Yeah.
They didn't finish. So now it makes the DeJounte, it's like, you know what I'm saying? You still in the same spot, only opposite. Like I said, you had a center, no point guard. Now you got point guard, no center.
They got center.
You know
Got
what I'm
four.
saying? A starting center. Got to be specific with these
We got
words.
Daniel Tice.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, nobody looks at any of the centers that we have as starters, right?
Not long-term starters, no.
Yeah, exactly. You're looking
Well,
at
maybe use Messi in time, Lex.
okay, how many years is that going to take? Because he's not ready. He's only been playing basketball since he was 16. I mean, that's not a long time. That ain't no long time at all. So, yeah, it's just I don't know what these do.
That's why we got Daniel Tice to save the day.
Are we getting FIBA Tice?
FIBA Tice.
FIBA Tice about to start balling.
He's gonna have to be.
Fight with the Pelicans like you fighting for your country.
Hey, if he can guard with Benyama the way he did in FIBA, I ain't too mad at it. I know the rules are a little different, but Daniel Tice, he seemed to be holding his own against guys bigger than him. So he's obviously what he lacks in height, he makes up for in strength because he's not being pushed around.
I think it works though. I think it works.
And he got a 3-ball, and he's probably one of the better screeners in the league as well. So I could see a reality where, like, we're talking about the Pels. Oh man, they incomplete, they this or that. Obviously, we're not gonna win no championship with Tice at starting center, or without having one of those guys on the bench step up. I mean, you need a 7-footer or near 7-footer guy for some matchups. But I just don't see them as bad as I think the consensus has them a lot of times, man. I think we're a mystery. So that scares a lot of people because it's not etched in stone what the starting lineup's going to be. We don't know how people's minutes are going to be distributed. We talking about Tice as a starting center. We officially don't even know that. So it's just a lot of uncertainty around him.
Very safe pick, brother. I think Tice is the guy.
Somebody wrote you a comment.
What's up?
They said that you were being negative from Nola Black.
He talking about a Big Q. Big Q been being negative all show. Trying to help that
I'm just chilling, bro. I don't know what DC talking about, man. What's up, Nola Black?
What is comment? Pull his comment up. What Nola Black talking about?
Pull it up. It's put it up on the screen, DC.
Pull it up, man.
It's crazy guy. Nola Black says,
man, you ain't from the city, man. Get with it, man.
Man, we gotta be more positive about our team. Everything's so negative with y'all. I ain't saying anything negative, Nola Black. I don't know what you're talking about, brother. Please, expound on this comment, brother.
Nola Black, you got to give us our negative comment. I think Nola Black
is realistic. Thank you, T.
I think Nola Black may have been listening to the national media about the Pelicans.
Yeah, because I don't be.
They don't never say nothing positive about us, but I was just saying something positive, before Lex pointed out the comment. I think the Pels are in a very good spot. But we're in a rock and a hard place with the trade thing, and BI, like you eventually have to figure something out.
I think it works.
The team is currently constructed, man. I'm not one of them people that feels like they're horrible. I never have. I thought getting DeJounte Murray without giving up Brandon Ingram was a blessing and amazing. Now, what we can turn Brandon Ingram into, that is yet to be seen. But even if we don't move on from them, you have the ability now to, like, let's say if Brandon Ingram ain't doing what he's supposed to, right? and you sit him down with all the guys that we got. It don't even look crazy. Nobody's even gonna question it. Like we can play the guys that work, and certain people are gonna be starters in title. But if you got somebody else playing better, they should get better minutes than said guy. CJ, anybody can be set, and you putting in a quality guy behind them, so it don't really look so crazy. Sitting one of them guys down for extended minutes, especially if you win it. I think it gives you the versatility to be able to dominate in the regular season. Now, what a problem comes in, and I think most people are thinking about, and where I hate to say it, but it is time to get negative when you start thinking about the postseason. Yeah. Because it's too many different pieces, and everybody knows when you go into the postseason, you start to shorten your bench. Certain guys are going to play more. It's a lot going on there, man, for them to have to mesh gel and figure out if we plan to be contenders, because those guys have to be brought into whatever they're doing. Now, in the regular season, like you give guys minutes, you do this, do that. It don't matter, especially if you burning people off the floor, like I think the Pels have the ability to be able to do, because they just, man, when you sit somebody down, you got Trey coming in, you got Herb coming in, you got Jose coming in, like CJ coming in. Depending, it's like what the hell are they? Like, how do you compete with their second unit? We got two to three starters in all of our second units. Like, what are other teams going to contend with that? Now, when you start to shrink the game, you go into the playoffs, guys playing harder, they getting a little more creative with their schemes. Yeah, man, you got to have something really special to, go to the upper echelon. But the regular season, I don't understand how people think we going to win less games, let alone like 8 or 9 less games. Some people saying we're going to win 44 games and stuff like that. Like, how? Like, with everything we got. Man, if one person get injured, 2 people get injured, we're still fine. This is not the case for the rest of the league. You slipped on a banana cue? I heard that cartoon banana slipping music going on over there. You playing the toy piano with your other hand?
I'm listening to you, brother. Go ahead and finish your comment. I'm listening to you, brother. You rolling.
You're not listening to me. You're interrupting me. This is very disrespectful.
You cooking,
voice, please.
This is not a reggaeton concert. Can you stop it?
In your Jamaican voice, please.
I'm just chilling, man. I'm listening to you. You cooking, DC? I'm listening, brother. I ain't say a word, bro.
You put Miss Cleo on the show, man. What Lex with it?
What you talking about, Mom? I don't know what you're talking about.
But anyway, like I was saying, man, the Pels are in prime position to have an awesome regular season. When it comes to the postseason, I think we're going to have to pull off a trade to get better there. But I don't see anything to be negative about at this point, unless we're just scared of what could be, which it seems to be, for a lot of people. We're afraid to lose Brandon Ingram for nothing. We're afraid to pull off a ridiculous trade for Brandon Ingram where the value is minimal. And we're also afraid for Brandon Ingram to sign a max contract and we lose Trey Murphy or something like that. So it's just a lot of fear right now, man. But we got to present y'all with all the options, opportunities, possible scenarios. That's what we do here. And some of those scenarios are negative, my brother.
Well, I got one question.
Yes.
What have the Pelicans won?
Oh, that's a good one. That was impeccable timing on.
That was beast mode. Okay, I love these sound effects. Sure, I feel like I'm in a movie. Hey, we both want to be in a movie like DC.
This the One Love movie? We in a One Love movie? Yeah. All right.
No, DC was talking, brother. Go ahead and finish your thought, bro.
Actually, Lex was talking. Can you stop with your BS?
No, but that's my question. How many people in the chat and even the panel who wants to win? Like, and I'm not talking about regular season. I'm talking about postseason.
We won a playoff series, Lex. We won 2. And our
Okay,
whole
we got to the
existence,
Western Conference Finals or
we
anything.
won. No, that's my bad. That's 3. We won 3 playoff series.
We did.
Yeah. We've had some success.
It's so far and few in between, Lex. It's
Yeah, and
far and
okay,
few in
let me
between.
ask this. Let me ask this question. How long ago was it?
Oh, that was 2018, man. We still surviving off the hope of that.
Yep.
I mean, I like to think the fan base, you know what I'm saying? Like you wanna reach a certain plateau. You know what I'm saying? You make your name in the playoffs. You know, and obviously it's one of those things. What have you done for like we've been waiting for a long time. You know, I don't know if anybody else is tired. You know what I'm saying? But it would be nice to have some consistency and go into the playoffs every single year. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would.
Just
Yeah,
that.
that'd be
I know
awesome.
the Spurs did it like for what, like 20 years or something? Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not
This is
saying that they won the championship every year, but it's like I think just getting to the playoffs consistently, like not having, oh, we make it to the playoffs this year, next year we don't. Next year after that, hey, you make it.
Well, wait a minute, Lex.
It's like,
If they didn't
just hold
create
on
this
just a second.
play-in format, we would have been in the playoffs all 3 years.
Hold on just a second, DC.
exactly,
Michael
which
make a
but
great
but
comment.
but
He
look,
says he never heard anybody in this organization ever mention championship.
That's a
yeah,
great
there you go.
that is an
And that I was
exceptional
getting to that,
comment
but
right there,
I
man.
mean, but
That's
that's
true.
true though. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When when
That's
when when have the
Trey
when
Murphy
has
said
the
it once.
Pelicans fan base ever felt like, hey, we have a chance of winning a championship? I mean, like for real. Like it actually comes into fruition.
I felt good the year when we had Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins and what was it, Drew Holiday. I felt pretty good that year until the injuries hit us. But I mean, then the Pelicans kind of dipped down, and then they had to do all this other kind of stuff. So, like I said, it's been far and few in between because we'll have a good year, then we'll fall off and miss the playoffs for like 3 years, and then come back and then miss the playoffs. Then it's topsy turvy. A lot of people just simply don't respect the organization because the organization doesn't have a high thought process in what they want
Yeah.
to do. Like,
That's
A big
sad.
market mentality.
yeah,
A big
yeah,
market mentality.
flea
And look,
market mentality. That's
and
kind
look,
of flea market
the
mentality.
thing is it look, there is a lot of small market teams. I want to make that clear. But there are other small market teams that have a big market mentality.
Yes, indeed.
The Pelicans have not shown that. They haven't shown that. And you can tell by looking at where's the direction of this team. Can you clearly tell me right now what the direction of this team is right now with the contract situations with Brandon? Because really, that whole situation is like is being in between a rock and a hard place. It literally is. We put out all the facts about that whole situation, and then how it has a ripple effect with Trey Murphy, with Herb Jones. Herb Jones, he just won defensive first team all defense, right? Guess what? He just won first team all defense, and they talking about him going to the bench.
Yep.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? That you see how all this stuff is connected. It's a ripple effect. It affects other areas of the team. You know what I'm saying? It affects other guys' playing time, other guys' growth and development, the chemistry of the team, the foreseeable future of the team. All that stuff affects each other. Those are all factual things. Those are decisions that have to be made. Like because in the NBA, it's a business. It's a business. That's why Griff is up there. That's why everybody in the front office, well, they up there, but are they really doing their jobs? You know what I'm saying? And guess what? All that stuff comes back on the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling, yeah, as a fan, I'm paying, hey, I pay for league pass. I want my team to be good. You know why? Because I am supporting the team. You spend your hard working money and your savings to support this team. Don't you want something great out of it? Because that's your investment, right? You're showing your investment in the team. And let me tell you something. Your money means way more to you than it does to them. You know why? Because they are a big time corporation.
Yeah.
You have to excuse me. My expectations are very high.
Yeah.
I have high expectations for myself, the people I love around me, and if I'm supporting you, yeah, I have high expectations. My bad.
That's what's up, Lex. Lex dropping game. DC, you want to chime in on this? We get ready to end the stream, man. Keeping it real, man. High expectations,
Hey, man,
Pelicans.
Lex just dropped a sermon, man. I ain't got nothing to say behind that, man. Let the music play. There you go. Play our song out.
Base, man.
Get one of them organs in there too.
I'm for the fans. You know what I'm saying? I want a great team. I want to see this team, be a championship. But in order to get to a championship, you got to have a championship mentality. You have to have a big market mentality. Milwaukee Bucks are a small market team. You know what I'm saying? They got a championship.
Lex,
Spurs are a small market team.
I would say the Pelicans are, they have a flea market mentality. Obviously, when I look at it, they got to change it up. Now, like I said, the DeJounte Murray move makes a lot of sense. Insofar as they needed a guy. Now, the center position, I think they'll pacify the position. They'll throw different guys at it, but it's all based on the creativity of the head coach. He would have to know who these guys are, and like I said, he over relies on certain guys too much. The restricting of the lineups when it gets closer to the season. Like I said, I'm expecting an improvement and I know you guys don't have expectations in terms of Willie improving as a head coach, but I have expectations of Willie improving as a head coach in year number 4. He has to, for the Pelicans to take the next step. It can't just be about the talent on the court. The coach have to step his shit up too. We calling for Zion to step up, play a full season. Yeah. That's the biggest thing that I'm looking at too. I want Zion to play a full damn season.
He playing a full season. We want him to play a full season and play in the playoffs.
There you go. There you go, Lex. Well said.
Because the team, they were like, yeah, we trying to get to the playoffs. They got to the playoffs and that was it.
Right. Yeah, we got the playoffs.
No, we want to get to the playoffs and win some games, not get swept.
Right. It's crazy, man. So, yeah, you're right. We got to be specific. It's like the genie, the evil genie in a bottle.
Yeah.
You ask for $1 million and he says, I want $1 million. And the genie says, boom, bam, beam. Then he says, where my $1 million? And then he says, it's outside. You go outside and look, it's 1 million damn reindeer shitting on your lawn out front. This is not what I asked for. You wanted $1 million. So that kind of craziness is what it is, man.
They say the same thing for your prayers. You better be specific.
Gotta be specific. The Most High will give you what you ask for. You better ask for the right thing, man. You better sit down and think first. Write it down. All right, DC, are you there, sir? You want to give us a last word before we get on out of here, sir? Last comments for you, DC?
Uh-oh.
DC, please, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gotta do nothing but just add. If you playing, you got the music already.
What?
How am I speak over that?
I was giving you some atmosphere. So you go ahead. You can take it from there.
Hey, bring it up about 5 dBs. Hey.
Go ahead, DC.
See, y'all wasted a very excellent moment after Lex dropped all that. Man, Lex was preaching, man. You were supposed to play that, and we were supposed to be walking out.
Ask for no injuries, said Brother Yakeem.
That was the walkout.
Shout out to Brother Yakeem. Ask for no injuries. Thank you, Yakeem. Shout out to you, bro. Let's get you a round of applause on that
Hey, and one more physical therapist.
one. Oh yeah, that's
man, that'd be awesome now. And how about this?
good answer. Lex, good answer. Good answer, Lex.
And how about we have at least 2 practices a week in the Smoothie King Arena? Give me a round of applause for that. 2 practices a week in the Smoothie King Arena. There you go.
All right, there you go.
And
Hold on
can we
now.
also have Willie to turn over his rotation power to James Borrego? How about that? Let James Borrego do the rotations. How about that? Can I get a round of applause for that? Anybody else want to add to this prayer list?
Hey, you know what? You need to pull up the Woody Woodpecker between that one and the koala.
That Kawhi, that's funny as hell, man. Right there, that's funny as hell, man. That Kawhi, that gets me. Got it right there. That's the funny shit.
Lex got me contemplating spending another goddamn dime on the Pelicans. I pay for Valley Sports. Lex is right. I pay for the NBA, TV, and Valley Sports all these damn Pelicans.
Like,
I went to games. It's some bullshit.
When reality hits, like, wait a minute, I got a stake in this. I gotta talk to my investors.
$1,000s over years tied up in this team.
Hey, I'm telling you, man. Look, trying to watch the games and Bally messing up.
Yeah, man.
Man.
Lex, I was risking my freedom to watch Pelicans games. I had to illegally stream sometimes. I'm not proud to say.
Man, don't say that on the live show. Big Q, you gonna have to cut that out.
That's all right. They know where to go to get these.
The statute of limitations on that has passed.
You better plead the fifth, bud. You better plead
the statute of limitations on that has passed. It is no longer, Lex. I got a digital antenna now.
Oh my God.
I could watch the Pels on Boss TV.
Oh shoot, Corey, and look, some anointing oil on his rotations.
There you go. Oh, I like Corey. That's what I'm talking about.
Getting away from having that checkers mentality and more of
a Corey, you got to come in here and pray after. Next time we do an open panel, you got to come lay that prayer down, man, at the end of the show.
Who? Big Q? Look, in his Jamaican voice. Go post.
Corey said he prayed Willie use his time off correctly. Damn, Corey, I forgot that one. Wait. And his challenges. Amen.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I felt that, don't need no rollover minutes on challenges.
I think Willie thought if he didn't use the challenges, he could take them in the next game. No, I thought he would get like additional challenge every game in the playoffs if he didn't use his challenges for so many games. It had to be some misunderstanding because he just refused to do it. Even at the end of the game where you're like, yeah, challenge it, Willie. Nope. Then in his defense, he did challenge some plays where I'm like, yeah, the Pelicans, that's going to get overturned. And he still lost. I'm like, damn. Even when he used it, he lost. Poor Willie.
It's all right, DC. It's all right, brother. We gonna get it, bro. He gonna do better, bro. Just understand, bro. You gonna do all right. All right. So with that being said, man, we're gonna get on out of here, man. Shout out to DC, man. The new CD coming y'all soon. Shout out to DC, man. Shout out to DC,
I don't even
man.
know what he's saying. Lex, can you translate that for me?
No, man.
What are you saying, Q?
That's a good song, DC. You heard that song before. Cut it out. All right, so with that being said, man, we're going to get out on that, man, on a jamming episode or sport brought to you by my co-host, DC, and Lexxah when she's doing her Cleo impersonation. Shout out to you guys.
I'm still waiting for DC when he sung "Shooting the Sheriff" and stuff. That's my song right there, boy. Shit. Come on, DC.
Hey, look,
That's what DC is related to that guy. He looked
we gotta change the lyrics. We gotta change the lyrics, man.
All right, we're gonna get on up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for chiming in. Y'all please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. We're gonna holler at y'all.
I shot the referee.
Oh,
but
wow.
I did not shoot the official.
Yeah, that's a remix.
Hold on, DC, what you talking about? You can't say that about refs. Lex is a ref. What you doing?
Hey, someone got to someone to rush. Willie ain't gonna do shit.
Look,
I ain't gonna be out for the year on a flagrant foul, and they gonna call it a regular foul.
Fans come to me, and even coaches telling me, "Hey, great job reffing." Yeah, hey, so I don't feel bad.
My bad. I'm saying it wrong now, Lex. My bad. I shot the official, but I did not shoot the referee.
Okay.
That was terrible. We're gonna get out on that. All the energy.
But I did not shoot the referee.
He plays the guitar and he doesn't sing.
Come on,
All right, so
I had to put acapella.
DC's not. He plays the guitar. He doesn't sing. He plays the guitar. He don't sing. He's like a reggae drama.
I was gonna come in at the.
That man's cute hating. See where you getting the spirit of stuff. You see what he want to do.
I'm just saying that was terrible.
He said, "Well, let me hear you sing it."
I gotta go, brother.
Let me hear you sing it, Curry.
In A minor.
That was a rap. All right, yo, we gonna.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the